Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemoration. Today, we are celebrating and commemorating World Refugee Day on 20th June every year. And the theme for this year, 2025, is Solidarity with Refugees. World Refugee Day 2025 is a powerful call to action and empathy in time of global uncertainty with record number of people forcibly displaced and humanitarian aid and the threat. This year's theme, Solidarity with Refugees, urges us to move beyond words and take meaningful steps to support those forced to flee. Refugees seek not charity but opportunity, a chance to rebuild their lives, contribute to their communities, and live with dignity. The World Refugee Day is a moment to honor their courage and resilience, listen to their stories, and advocate for lasting solution to displacement. It reminds us that welcoming refugees strengthens society, fosters innovation, and builds communities and where everyone belongs. So, through collective action from policy change and community engagement to sharing refugee voices, we affirm that refugees are not forgotten, not alone, and not without hope. So, what does this solidarity mean? Centering refugees' voices, listen to and share their personal stories of refugees, recognizing their strength, courage, and multifaceted identities beyond displacement, building in inclusive communities, creating welcoming environments where refugees can form connections and find opportunities and contribute meaningfully, uphold the right to seek safety, advocate for conflict resolution, and support long-term sustainable futures for displaced populations, studying by those who stay and deliver, support UN and its humanitarian workers who continue to serve with the toughest conditions, ensuring that life-saving and aid reaches those in need. So when we look at the background of this day, World Refugee Day is an international day designated by the United Nations to honor refugees around the globe. It falls each year on June 20 and celebrates the strength and courage of people who have been forced to flee their home country to escape conflict or persecution. World Refugee Day is an occasion to build empathy and understanding for their plight and to recognize their resilience in rebuilding their lives. Every minute, 20 people leave everything behind to escape war, persecution, or terror. There are several types of forcibly displaced persons. Refugee. A refugee is someone who fled his or her home and country owing to a well-founded fear of persecution, because of his or her race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group or political opinion. According to the United Nations 1951 Refugee Convention, many refugees are in exile to escape the effects of natural or human-made disasters. Asylum seekers. Asylum seekers say that they are refugees and have fled their homes and refugees. But their claim to refugee status is not yet definitely evaluated in the country to which they fled. Internationally displaced persons. So, internationally displaced persons, in short known as IDPs, are people who have not crossed an international border but have moved to a different region than one they call home within their own country. So these are internally displaced persons. So, stateless persons do not have a recognized nationality and do not belong to any country. Stateless situations are usually caused by discrimination against certain groups. Their lack of identification, a citizenship certificate, can exclude them from access to important government services, including healthcare, education, or employment. Returnees are former refugees who return to their own countries or religion of origin after time in exile. Returnees need continuous support and reintegration assistance to ensure that they can build their lives at home. So, UN Action 1951 Refugee Convention and its 1967 Protocol, refugees are among the most vulnerable people in the world. The 1951 Refugee Convention and its 1967 Protocol help protect them. They are only global legal instruments explicitly covering the most important aspects of a refugee life. According to their provisions, refugees deserve as a minimum the same standards of treatment enjoyed by other foreign nationals in a given country, and in many cases, the same treatment as nationals. So, the 1951 Convention contains a number of rights and also highlights the obligations of refugees towards their host country. The cornerstone of the 1951 Convention is the principle of non-refoulement. According to Hind's principle, a refugee should not be returned to a country where he or she faces serious threats to his or her life or freedom. This protection may not be claimed by refugees who are reasonably regarded as a danger to the security of the country or having been convicted of a particular serious crime are considered a danger to the community. The rights contained in 1951 Convention include the right not to be expelled except under certain strictly defined conditions, the right not to be punished for illegal entry into the territory of a contracting state, the right to work, the right to housing, the right to education, the right to public relief and assistance, the right to freedom of religion, the right to access the courts, the right to freedom of movement within the territory, the right to be increased identity and travel documents. Some basic rights, including the right to be protected from refoulement, apply to all refugees. A refugee becomes entitled to other rights the longer they remain in the host country, which is based on the recognition that the longer they remain as refugees, the more rights they need. So the world is witnessing the highest levels of displacement on record. An unprecedented 70.8 million people around the world have been forced from home by conflict and persecution at the end of 2018. So among them are nearly 30 million refugees, over half of whom are under the age of 18. There are also 90 millions of stateless people who have been denied nationally access to basic rights such as education, healthcare, employment, and freedom of movement. Today is also commemorated as World Productivity Day, which takes place every year on June 20. Have you been breezing through tasks like an absolute champ? So use this day to pat yourself on the back and celebrate every achievement. Do you feel like you never get things done on time? Today, a good day to consider why and change things up. Either way, reminder to acknowledge every success, even seemingly insignificant ones. Productivity equals efficiency purely in dictionary terms. The word has increasingly become associated with economics of the corporate world or resulting in a boxed up understanding of the term. The reality is that people are wildly different, so are the personal views on productivity. To some, it means efficiency, juggling work and home. Business leaders might define it as rallying everyone to a shared goal. If you are a creator, ample time for rumination and debate also counts as productivity. So, what motivates us each day rarely manifests as spreadsheets, calendars, or planners. These are tools that help us to achieve what we want. Meaningful productivity goes far beyond. It's about making informed choices, the art of balancing both professional and personal goals. So, getting more things done is only part of it. Ultimately, we want to be productive to have enough time for all the things we love. While we are at it, it's essential to know that it's not productive, such as being busy all the time. Efficiency isn't someone who ticks off numerous tasks on an overscheduled calendar. Being busy and productive aren't the same things at all. 24 hours sometimes seem too short. Productivity means making most of your time, not by creating endless task lists or filling up calendars with things to do, but rather than creating impactful habits of fulfillment and success. So start by defining what productivity means to you. You may want more money or perhaps more vacation time. But what's driving it? Adventure? Are you caring for your family? Connecting it to passion? Can flip perspectives and how you approach your day. On World Productivity Day, let's ask ourselves these questions. Today is about inspiring everyone to be better versions of themselves. Today is also commemorated as Ugliest Dog Day in US, which celebrates the pups out there with a face only a mother could love. But when it comes to man's best friend, is there really any dog that can't be deemed adorable? We honor the facially challenged ones on June 20, Ugliest Dog Day. What started as a fun contest has grown into an annual celebration of not so handsome dogs amongst us. So grab your favorite pup and give him an extra snuggle today as you go about your day. Say hi to every pup, pretty and not so pretty. No matter how they look, the antics of furry animals will always be undeniably cute. There are some really unphotogenic pets out there, but hey, as they say, beauty is in the eye of beholder. This is why World's Ugliest Dog Day is celebrated on June 20 every year. We love to love dogs every day, but dogs with facial deformities or less attractive features are in the spotlight today. Whether they lack fur or adorable faces, these puppies' eyes will always get us. The World Ugliest Day contest is an annual contest held in Petaluma, California, as part of Sonoma Marine Fair to decide which of the dogs entered in the contest is ugliest. The winner receives a trophy and the title of World's Ugliest Dog, and the dog's owner receives $1,000 in prize money. Since 2017, the prize money has increased to $1,600 along with a free trip to New York City. Throughout the years, many dogs have participated to claim the esteemed title of the world's ugliest dog, with one breed in particular winning the most titles, the Chinese Crested. Since the inception of the contest in 1970s, the most unsightly dog was been from this breed at least 22 times. With a hairless body and bulging eyes, the breed is still beloved and described by the American Kennel Club as ultra affectionate companion dog. Today is also commemorated as Nystagmus Awareness Day in US. Every year celebrated on June 20, this is a time to discuss the issue of nystagmus, which affects millions of people worldwide and has no permanent cure. However, early diagnosis, some useful interventions can be applied to control it in the early stages. Therefore, it is an important use that this day as an opportunity to spread awareness about this condition, especially among would-be parents. Nystagmus Awareness Day is the initiative of the UK-based Nystagmus Network, which operates as a charity. The organization mainly funds research on nystagmus, and the commemoration of an international day helps to bring the world's attention to this condition. The main purpose of holding this day is to conduct various tasks and seminars to increase people, professionals, and doctors' awareness so that they can identify nystagmus in early stages. Several other events are also held to raise funds for various research activities and support programs for children and other people affected by this condition. The first experience was highly successful, which was motivated the Nystagmus network to make it their regular feature on their annual calendar and follow it up with more educational material and newsletters and also CD. Today is also commemorated as National West Virginia Day in US. On June 20, every year, this day celebrates West Virginia and the last state created from one of the 13 original colonies under the British Empire. The day marks the birth of a region that is home to some of the largest forests in the country, an industry of coal mining, and a rich cultural history. And there is so much that West Virginia has its residents can be proud of. This Virginia Day steps out of and explore the beauty and history of the state. Most importantly, let your infectious energy inspire others to celebrate too. West Virginia has a beautiful landscape with three popular mountain ridges, namely LA, Appalachian, and Blue Ridge Mountains. West Virginia is the largest producer of coal east of Mississippi River. The state has deep cultural roots and heritage from its native ancestors. So before the arrival of European settlers, West Virginia used to be a favorite hunting ground for numerous Native Americans. It has old earthen mounds constructed by different mold builder cultures. Once the Europeans arrived and settled here, the locals were pushed to outskirts. Today is also commemorated as National Vanilla Milkshake Day in US on June 20, and it's all about celebrating the original vanilla milkshake. It's made by blending milk, ice cream, and the vanilla flavoring for a classic style beverage. Vanilla is actually native to central Mexico and it is only fruit bearing member of orchid family. The first people that used the fruits of the Tilzochi wine were the ancient Totonac Indians of Mexico, but after the Aztecs defeated them, they no longer had ownership of the fruit. In the beginning, the milkshake was considered an adult drink. The beverage that first appeared in the print in 1885 and contained eggs and whiskey. It was described as a sturdy and healthy eggnog drink that was served as a tonic and drink. For as harmless as they seem now, the original milkshake wasn't so kid friendly. All of fun flavorings would come until later. In early 1900s, different flavors of ice creams were used in milkshakes. Vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry syrups were the first ones, and they were an immediate hit. At that time, the electric blender hadn't been invented yet, and milkshakes were shaken by hand. The drink mixer wasn't created until 1911, and when it was, milkshakes started appearing at soda fountains, which increased its accessibility. Today is also commemorated as National Take Your Dog Day to Work Day in US, celebrated on the Friday following Father's Day on June 20, honors one of the most beloved pets. Wouldn't you agree? The hardest part of the day is leaving our four-legged fur babies behind as we head to office. So when Pet Sitters International PSI pitched the idea of taking them with us, how could we resist? Dogs brighten up even the best days, so it's pretty obvious they will up the fun factor at work exponentially. As you run out the door, don't forget your briefcase and the doggy bag. We will see you at the office. But if you receive the green light from your company, this day is a great way to show off your dog to your co-workers. So National Take Your Dog to Work Day began in 1999 as a way to celebrate companion dogs and to encourage adoptions. Having your dog at work with you all day may take it a little long to get your tasks done, but having the dog with you may allow you to interact with your co-workers in a whole new way. As a dog is a great icebreaker, pitch that idea of promoting better communication and teamwork so your boss and you may convince him or her to allow you to have Fido sitting next to your desk celebrating this day. Today is also commemorated as National Take Back the Lunch Break Day in US. If you are one who skips their lunch break or eats at their desk, then that's one for you. Come celebrate National Take Back in Lunch Break Day with us, held on third Friday in June each year. This event encourages workers all over America to step up to the lunch plate that is, and take a regular and longer lunch break. It's because multiple research studies showed a trend of lesser and more infrequent lunch breaks across employees in America, resulting in lower employee morale and well-being. This day was set up as a reminder of the importance of benefit of taking lunch breaks. Today is also commemorated as National Ice Cream Soda Day in US on June 20. Americans all over the country enjoy their favorite dessert by trying out various flavors and making it in different styles with more than a century of history. There is so much to learn about ice cream sodas, right from how they were invented to the different methods for preparing and consuming them in different states and cities of US. Today is also commemorated as National Hike with a Jeep Day in US, celebrated every year on June 20. The purpose of this day is to promote healthy activity in the people who otherwise work in sedentary jobs throughout the year, such as IT professionals, accountants, and so forth. Even going on a hiking trip once a year can encourage people to make physical activity and exercise a part of their daily routine. Today is also commemorated as National Flip Flop Day in US. They come in colors. They come in various colors, are made of different materials, are of much fun to wear. Celebrate National Flip Flop Day, held on Wednesday after Memorial Day, by showing off your favorite pair of flip flops. Wear them to the beach, or a grocery run, or even to semi-formal dining in a jiffy. After all, what is easier to wear them? Flip-flops. So sandals resembling the erstwhile flip-flops have been around for many years, while the earliest recorded sandals come from Egypt. All cultures during the ancient times had their own variant of their footwear. The sandals worn by the ancient Greeks and Romans had the strap between the second and third toe. Mesopotamian sandals showed the strap resting between the first and second toe, and the Indian chappals used a knob in place of strap. These olden versions were made from a variety of materials: papyrus leaves, palm leaves, leather, wood, dry straw, and so on. Over time, natural materials gave way to artificial materials, and then design changed to a modern look. These new colorful snazzy flip-flops began being used excessively in formal settings. The increasing popularity brought this humble sandal to the mainstream, and it then began to be used in semi-formal events too. A special country responsible for changing flip-flops culture was Brazil. This inexpensive footwear was immensely popular there, and even supermodels and actors wore them on red carpet. Today is also commemorated as National Day of the Indigenous People in Chile, which is celebrated any day between June 20 and 24 in the Chile. This year it is commemorated on June 20. This day honors the rituals and beliefs of the indigenous communities. This celebration also coincides with the winter solstice, which recognizes the beginning of a new year as per indigenous worldview. Chileans enjoy a public holiday, and the day marked the day with educational seminars, gatherings, and demonstrations that honor and pay respects to the indigenous peoples of Chile. Chile's vibrant and flourishing democracy is a shining example of the remarkable progress made in the last century. The country inhabits more than 2 million indigenous peoples who make up almost 13% of Chile's population. Chile is home to 10 prominent indigenous tribes, namely Aymara, Anacmeto, Quencha, Kola, Changos, Dagutia, Rapanua, Gavesquar, Yagan, and Mapuche. Before the Spanish colonization, the country's tribes lived in harmony and shared livelihood and resources. Upon the 16th century Spanish conquest, the indigenous people began scattering across the land for survival. So, National Day of Indigenous People recognizes the history of indigenous peoples. This day also celebrates child's varied population, richness, and cultural diversity. In 1998, President Edurity Ruiz Tagle issued a supreme decree announcing it. According to the indigenous worldview, the day falls on winter solstice, which ushers in a new way. The public day unites Chileans across different backgrounds who come forward to honor the beauty and depth of indigenous beliefs and culture. The National Corporation for Indigenous Development and Indigenous Communities organize seminars, inaugurations, educative events, and parades to bring attention to the unique customs of the indigenous people. Chileans take away the day to reflect on rich history of the country and share geographical destiny of Native Americans and Europeans migrators, because the social capital of the settled colonies outweighs the indigenous tribes. It is incumbent upon the former to extend the grace of recognition and assimilation to the latter. The indigenous people also participate in public programs and share their ancestral prowess and cultural wealth with their fellow citizens. Today is also commemorated as National Cellular Light Therapy Day. In US on June 20, this day is intended to highlight and create awareness about the benefits of light therapy. It is non-toxic, non-intrusive alternative prescription medicines and invasive surgery. People who have never heard of light treatment and those looking for an alternative to medication or surgery should take part on this day. Celluma has been used for years by US military veterans as an alternative to prescribed drugs. Celluma light therapy conceptualized this day. People from all around the world can now make use of powerful healing light energy of Celluma light therapy. Celluma was found on the principle that everyone should have access to myriad health benefits provided by low-level light therapy, which had been discovered through scientific research. This principle served as a primary motivating factor for the development of Celluma brand. Celluma is a well-known and respected brand that is produced in the state of California, where the company also has its headquarters. After that, it is shipped to many countries across the world. The FDA has given its approval for the use of series of wellness devices that make up Celluma light therapy. These devices can be used to treat a range of health and wellness issues, including acne, hair restoration, and the fine lines and wrinkles. Celluma devices have also received FDA approval for the treatment of musculoskeletal diseases such as arthritic pain, muscle discomfort, and joint pain, as well as for enhancement of microcirculation. Pain can be experienced in the muscle joints and our ligaments when one has one of these illnesses. Today is also commemorated as Matariki in New Zealand, which is celebrated every year in late June or early June in New Zealand to celebrate the first rising of the Pleiades star cluster. Though dates vary from year to year, this year Matariki will be celebrated on June 20. Matariki is the Maori word for the cluster of stars known as Pleiades. This celebration marks the beginning of New Year in Maori culture. The first celebration of Matariki as a government-declared public holiday takes place in 2022. So the name Matariki is the Maori name for the cluster of stars called Pleiades, otherwise known to the Western astronomers as Messier 45, M45. Matariki is also the short form of the phrase Nga Mata o Te Ariki o Tahirimat, which means the eyes of the god Tuairi Matter. The rising of the star cluster was used to mark the start of the year. Matariki was traditionally a time to observe stars and predict the harvest, mourn the dead, and make an offering of food for replenishing the stars. It was also a time to regale and educate young ones and ancient lore of the forest and land. Today is also commemorated as Martyrs' Day in Eritrea, also known as Meltisivuar in the Tigrinya language. It is celebrated on June 20 every year. It is a day of remembrance for those who perished in the war while fighting for freedom between 1961 and 1991. Eritrea had been a colony of Italy since 1890, but during the Second World War, British annexed the land from Italy. Then in 1949, Britain administered Eritrea as a United Nations territory. An uprising by Eritreans who were fed up with the current system began in 1961, signaling the start of the war. Independence was finally achieved in 1991. Today is also commemorated as Koigan Aman Day in US, which falls on June 20 every year, made with a simple recipe of flour, butter, and sugar. Koigan Aman is made in different varieties and flavors since it originates in the reign of Britannia. The Koigan Aman combines the simplicity of Welsh foods and elegance of French taste. Americans love to celebrate Koigan Aman Day because it reminds them of the history of their food and how cuisines from different parts of the world have been Americanized over the centuries. The tradition of celebrating these days, however, relatively new. Today is also commemorated as Flag Day. Argentina celebrates annually on June 20. Argentinians celebrate El Dia de la Bandera Nacional, which is known as National Flag Day, and mourn the death of its designer, General Manuel Belgrano. He was one of the most important independence leaders and is credited with the design of Argentine flag. He came up with the design in the location that is now occupied by the city of Rosario. He sadly passed away on June 20, 1820. On this day, let's celebrate the origins of the flag and the man who designed it. Today is also commemorated as Clear Your Drains Day on June 20. It acts as a reminder to homeowners to tackle the oh so important task of cleaning their drains, from grease and bits of food in your kitchen sink to hair and soaps come in the shower. Drains can easily get clogged from everyday use. The dedicated day encourages homeowners everywhere to roll up their sleeves and show their drains some love through proper cleaning and maintenance. Drainage systems have been a necessity since ancient times, so they are a rather overlooked part of our homes. Use this day as a reminder to take care of and maintain this essential part of life. Regular cleaning and maintenance will save you money in the long run. Today is also commemorated as American Eagle Day. In US, celebrate the United States national symbol on American Eagle Day on June 20, as we set aside time to raise awareness about the bald eagle and to preserve the bird's natural habitat. This day is meant to educate others about the bird's importance and to explore ways we can ensure that eagles continue to thrive for decades to come. In the 1950s, the bald eagle was at serious risk of becoming extinct. Loss of their natural habitat, hunting, and the use of pesticides that damage their eggs may cause the population to massively decline. The bird was classified as endangered in the US in 1967. The bird went on to become a prime success story of Endangered Species Act. The bald eagle began to repopulate and thrive, and in 1995 it was moved from National Endangered Species List to the National List of Threatened Species. A major improvement: as of 2007, the bald eagle is no longer considered threatened and has a healthy population level. So National American Eagle Day was launched by the American Eagle Foundation, a Tennis organization focused on protecting bald eagles and their fellow birds of prey. Bald eagles like to live near large bodies of water, and they mostly eat fish and are known for their beauty and grace when they soar through the air. They have been known as treasured symbols of the United States since the 1700s. Bald eagles are powerful birds of prey indigenous to America. They symbolize strength, determination, and honor in ancient times, that is, even before the European conquest. Bald eagles roamed the great blue skies, witnessing the rise and fall of empires. On June 29, 1782, the Second Continental Congress selected bald eagles as a national symbol of the United States. Back then, they did not have any threats either from land or from the skies. More than 1 lakh nesting pairs were dominating the US skies during that era, but the story changed for bald eagles in the 19th century. Poisoning from pesticides, illegal shooting, habitat destruction, lead poisoning, birth defects, etc., resulted in rapid decline of the eagle population. In 1940, Congress passed the Bald Eagle Protection Act, which proved some protection for the birds. The law prohibited selling, owning, killing bald eagles, but the population continued to decline so much so that they were listed as endangered species by the 1967. The main culprit was DDT, a pesticide used for eradicating mosquitoes and other pests. The chemical reached water bodies and fish on which bald eagles preyed. The DDT interacted with the calcium secreting mechanism on the bald eagle and softened their eggshells. The result was soft eggs that failed to hatch, to break, or under the weight of the incubating mother. So Rachel Carson mentioned in her book, The Silent Spring, the adverse effect of DDT on the ecosystem. As a result, the US banned the use of DDT and paved the way of the return of bald eagles to the American skies one more time. Fast forward to the present day, thanks to the vigorous conservation efforts, bald eagles are thriving with a population of over 3 lakhs. So we are celebrating Bald Eagle Appreciation Day to understand this unique and powerful bird and spread awareness about its importance to the ecosystem and American culture. So this week is also commemorated as Refugee Week from June 20 to 26 in UK. Every year is a day to honor refugees and appreciate the contributions, creativity, and resilience of refugees and people seeking sanctuary. People are displaced from home each year are more than 82.4 million people who have been forced to flee their homes more than ever before. This means once in 95 people, over 1% of the world's population, is displaced. This is a day for all of us to support, help, and appreciate everyone who is displaced from their homes and is suffering as refugees. Let's take a stand to make their life better. Today is also commemorated as National Mosquito Control Awareness Week from June 20 to 26 in US every year, which is an event that has become essential over the years. This is because mosquitoes are the cause of many diseases and can kill if precautions aren't taken. For instance, a disease such as dengue still exists in many developing nations because appropriate measures are yet to be taken by the government. Learn all the mosquitoes by observing National Mosquito Control Awareness Week this year and make sure you get the kids around. You involved too. Let's join hands and ensure America is protected from these tiny blood-sucking insects for years to come. Mosquitoes may seem small and irrelevant, but they have caused the deaths of thousands in the past few decades. It's important to understand their habitat, the diseases they bring, and how humans can protect themselves. Though mosquitoes are found everywhere now, did you know that they didn't always exist anywhere outside South Africa? At least that is what scientists believe. From South Africa, mosquitoes spread on the rest of the world and evolved according to the climate of each region. The oldest mosquito fossil, according to the University of Alaska, is believed to be from 79 million years ago. There are currently about 3,000 known species. Out of these, only 176 species are found in the US. At least 84 of these species are found in Texas alone. Scientists have also revealed that the ancient mosquitoes were about 3 times as large as today's mosquitoes, and the name too evolved over time. For instance, Spanish called mosquitoes mosquitas, and native Hispanic Americans called zancudos. For merely being blood-sucking insects, mosquitoes became feared over the years, owing to the many painful diseases caused by their bites. In fact, they also transmit several diseases and parasites to dogs and horses. including dog heartworms, Eastern equine encephalitis, and West Nile virus. The diseases they can infect humans include malaria, dengue virus, Zika, and West Nile virus. Seeing the spread of disease, many measures were taken to eliminate mosquitoes. A national organization of mosquito control workers under the name of National Mosquito Extermination Society was also formed in the US. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in today's commemorations and celebrations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. So from tomorrow onwards, we have tomorrow and day after tomorrow, morning 6 o'clock and evening 6 o'clock, we have yoga sessions. So we request we'll be performing yoga protocol. So as part of International Day of Yoga celebrations, we are having Yoga Sangam. So we request everyone to join and participate in this program and make it a grand success. For 4 sessions, you will be getting 4 different certificates. So tomorrow, that is on 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday, morning 6 o'clock and evening 6 o'clock. So total 4 sessions will be there where we will be practicing the protocol. So you can do it on your own by watching the presentation, or you can also record if you are not able to attend this time at this particular times. You can also record your video performing the protocol, that is asanas, as part of International Day of Yoga, and you can upload it to your Google Drive and send the link along with your details, based on which we can issue the participation certificate. So you can join live, or you can also send pre-recorded video. Live you can join in Zoom. If Zoom meeting is full, you can join YouTube as well. So the registration form and feedback form will be shared in Zoom in the form of polls. So see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. Take care. Good night.